I'm Emil, Jasper, Agpalza, and I'll be talking about large-scale production engineering.
Hi, I'm Gianina, and I'm assigned to discuss the food industry.
Hi, I'm Junel Indiongco, and I'll be focusing on the biomedical field.
Hi, I'm Kathy Claire Langahid, and I'll be discussing about plastics and innovative materials.
Hi, I'm Raymond Mayo, and I'm here to discuss about the oil and gas industry.
Hi, I'm Raechel Victoria Panerio, and I will be talking about the contributions of chemical engineers to nuclear engineering.
Hi, I am Emil Villena, and I will be discussing batteries and fuel cells.
Mass production, as implied in its name, is the production of a certain material or product in large quantities. Throughout the whole process, from the discovery to the release to the market, chemical engineers contribute a lot to the field. After a chemist discovers or works in the lab and finds a formula for a certain product, the chemical engineer is assigned to find ways how to produce that product in large amounts efficiently and effectively.
Chemical engineers contribute to this field by helping agricultural experts in developing climate and pest-resistant crops. They also help in the commercial production of food and improving the shelf life, nutritional and aesthetic value of the food.
Chemical engineers have contributed a lot in the biomedical field. Some of the contributions include the design of commercial-scale facilities, which produce vaccines, drugs, and other drug components. Chemical engineers are also responsible for biocompatible materials. These are materials that are both biodegradable and biocompatible with the human body, which provide functionality. Another contribution is the kidney dialysis machine. It is a mass transport device which cleanses the blood in case of a damaged kidney. Other contributions include tissue engineering and drug delivery.
Everything or every material has plastics, may it be the packaging in food and medicine or the thin linings in every object. Chemical engineers contribute by manufacturing these plastics and innovating them so that they would fit its purpose, and they would find substitutes like bio-based materials so that the plastics would be biodegradable and not be harmful to the environment.
In the oil and gas industry, oil is recovered from a reservoir, and these are processed into resources that can be used as energy. Chemical engineers have a large contribution to this industry since chemical engineering fundamentals like fluid mechanics and thermodynamics are needed in recovering this oil and gas from the reservoir, and chemical engineers also devise processes on converting these raw materials into refined products.
Nuclear engineering is concerned with the science of nuclear processes and is involved in the development of various technologies. Nuclear engineering involves a lot of nuclear plants, reactors, and equipment, and chemical engineers contribute to this by designing them and maintaining these equipment. They are also the ones in charge of supervising the properties of the materials or the chemicals to be used in these reactors or power plants. And nuclear engineering is essential to a lot of fields nowadays, and one of those is the production of energy by utilizing nuclear fusion. Nuclear fusion is a chemical process, and chemical engineers are involved a lot on this field.
Batteries and fuel cells work by converting energy from chemical reactions into electrical energy and heat. Chemical engineers optimize this process by ensuring that the maximum amount of energy is converted to electrical energy rather than heat. For fuel cells, chemical engineers maximize the mass-to-energy ratio of the fuel used. Also, they try to ensure that the byproducts produced in the process are non-hazardous.
The first modern large-scale production is the mass production of cars. And one of the most notable are the ones produced by the Ford Motor Company in the 1900s. As we all know, chemical engineers contribute to the manufacture of cars by working on its engines. The same company invented the moving assembly lines. Therefore, the production increased and the cost decreased.
Recently, companies like Nestle, Nissan, Kraft, and Heinz are major food companies that are known worldwide and produce millions of products every year. For agriculture, companies like Monsanto develop fertilizers and pesticides that help farmers in growing their crops.
Some highlights of the involvement of chemical engineers in the biomedical field include the following. In the 1800s, Claude Bernard spearheaded the concept of viewing the human body as a combination of chemical systems. In the 1950s, Edward Merrill, a chemical engineering professor, helped a group of doctors to measure the viscosity of lung mucus and human blood. In the 1940s, John McCain helped in the development of the first commercial power plant for large-scale production of penicillin. His innovativeness has helped Pfizer to overcome or surpass other rival companies. Other companies that are involved in the biomedical field include Junel.
Many people contributed to the field of plastics, such as Charles Goodyear, who accidentally discovered the process of sulfur reacting with crude rubber when heated and cooled. Alexander Parks created the first man-made plastic from cellulose. Leo Baekeland synthesized Bakelite, which is used in various resins and plastics. Wallace Carothers invented nylon. And one of the known companies here in the country is DuPont Philippines.
One of the major contributors to the oil and gas industry is Abraham Gesser, who was the very first person to devise a way to refine liquid fuel from coal, bitumen, and oil shale. His discovery led to the emergence of the oil and gas industry, like the drilling of the first major oil well in 1948. Moreover, this led to the emergence of many major oil companies. In the Philippine setting, the top oil companies are the Pilipinas, Shell Petroleum Corporation, and the Petron Corporation.
Leo Szilard was one of the researchers involved in the construction of the first nuclear power plant, which is the Manhattan Power Plant. Internationally, the companies involved in nuclear engineering are the American Nuclear Society and the International Atomic Energy Association. In the Philippines, the companies involved in the overseeing of nuclear energy or nuclear power is the Department of Energy and the Philippine Nuclear Research Institute.
Notable persons in the development of batteries and fuel cells throughout history include Alessandro Volta, who developed the voltaic pile, Thomas Edison, who invented the first alkaline battery, and Francis Bacon, who developed the first fuel cell. Companies which work with batteries and fuel cells include Duracell, Motolite, and NASA, which is a leader in fuel cell research, as the first fuel cells were primarily used for space travel. That we live in a world where resources are limited, chemical engineers must ensure that we make the most out of these resources and minimize waste. As such, improving the efficiency of processes is key. For example, in the field of energy, chemical engineers try to make the most out of every drop of fuel, seeing that it is a limited and non-renewable resource. In the field of plastics, engineers make sure that just the right amount of plastic is used, such that none of the material goes to waste.
One of the goals of chemical engineers is to produce a product at the lowest possible cost. For example, early producers shifted from small-scale to large-scale production to meet the demands without sacrificing price.
One of the many commonalities of the industries where chemical engineers are involved is their concern for environmental impacts. In their search for efficiency, it is inevitable for these industries to produce products that are harmful for the environment. For example, the processing of oil and gas into petroleum products contribute much to pollution, and the harnessing of nuclear energy in nuclear engineering produce harmful nuclear waste.
Another commonality in every industry is mass production. Chemical engineers are involved in producing products in large quantities or large scale. In contrast to chemist work, products are produced in a factory. Examples include canned goods in the food industry and medicines in the biomedical.
Another commonality that chemical engineers do for the development of modern day technology is finding alternatives which are safer and more efficient. Like, for example, in the production of energy, chemical engineers find other sources of energy such as nuclear energy.
One of the reasons we have thought of is the environment. Harsh climate conditions still affect food production despite the various innovations done by chemical engineers. Natural disasters such as earthquake hinder the development of facilities such as factories and nuclear power plants.
Another reason is that the Philippines is a third world country. We are economically incapable of developing advancements for the chemical engineering industry.
When I become a chemical engineer, I will apply what I learned honestly and responsibly. I would like to focus on things in which no research or little research is being done.
I will help the country by becoming a research-oriented chemical engineer. In this way, I can help improve old methods used in chemical engineering, and I could also help other chemical engineers create new methods that could be used in different industries.
As a chemical engineer in the future, I would contribute to the development of the Philippines through my skills and knowledge, and by doing my work responsibly. I would like to focus on giving solutions to certain problems in the country.
When I become a chemical engineer in the future, to help the development of the Philippines, I would maximize the resources that we have in the country. We all know that Philippines is rich in natural resources, and I hope we can take that into advantage.
When I become a chemical engineer, I want to be a part of the oil and gas industry. As a chemical engineer in the oil and gas industry, my focus could be on helping in the development of the self-sustainability of the Philippines in energy production, which is a vital commodity in any industry nowadays.
When I become a chemical engineer in the future, I would contribute to the development of the Philippines by becoming a genetic engineer. Genetic engineering is not a common field nowadays, but it is one of the emerging fields in the Philippines. And I hope to be part of that field someday.
In order to contribute to the development of the Philippines, I will work in and for the country rather than in another country. Also, I will do what is required, or possibly more than what is required of me, and I will abide by the laws of the country and by the code of ethics of the profession.
We should prioritize the oil and gas industry since the Philippines has been experiencing problems in energy, like unexpected blackouts all over the country.
But the oil and gas industry contributes pollution, and in 20 to 30 years, resources can be depleted.
However, nuclear engineering is the highest generating source of energy, and in the long run, it's more cost efficient.
But then, it's more risky to work with and it's more expensive to start up.
We should prioritize the food industry to cope up with the increasing population. Also, we can solve the high percentage of Filipino families that are hungry.
But we may need to sacrifice other resources for us to develop arable land.
I don't know if it's in this
Guys! We should not be arguing about this. I think the most practical answer would be for us to prioritize the food industry in the Philippines. Since 15% of the families in Metro Manila are hungry, what more for the whole Philippines? And I think we can survive a day without electricity. So, do we all agree?
Yes!
Okay then. So, you can never go wrong with food.